Gentlemen, BlackRock hits $2 billion of Bitcoin assets under management with its IBIT ETF. Google set to allow Bitcoin ads as soon as tomorrow, right in front of the FOMC meeting this week. Do we get a rate cut or do we get a pause? Vanguard, of course, they're doubling down and not allowing customers to buy the Bitcoin ETF. And China, they're actually panicking a little bit and manipulating their own stock market. So we'll jump into it. Little bit of food for thought. Over the weekend, 4 blocks in 67 seconds. This does happen. It's not the first time this happened. The quantum computers are here. We'll slow down. How does this actually happen? It's not all too rare. Still pretty fascinating, though, that it happens. We will skip this one. So jumping straight into BlackRock here with their ETF for the first to reach $2 billion in assets under management. The fund now holds nearly 50,000 Bitcoin. Huge, hey? Couple of weeks and they are good to go. Shout out to everyone in the live chat and everyone watching the replay today. The BlackRock iShares Bitcoin ETF IBIT on Friday became the first the recently launched spot Bitcoin products to reach $2 billion in assets under management. It's excluding GBDC Grayscale, which had nearly $30 billion in assets under management at the time of its conversion. Obviously, that is going down a little bit. We can talk about that. Maybe it's not such a conspiracy that they do have such high fees. Now, with over $2 billion in assets under management, the fund ranks third in assets gathering among all of the more than 600 ETFs that launched in the past year in 2 weeks. And people call the spot Bitcoin ETF a failure. We'll jump into a video of Jim Cramer shortly. The next fund to cross the $2 billion mark is likely to be Fidelity's Fidelity-Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, FBTC, which held just shy of 44,000 Bitcoin as of Jan 25th. They are coming for your Bitcoin. I do hope you have stacked, you're chilling, you're enjoying the dip that we had at $39,000 because it doesn't last long. Do we get another dip? Potentially. Depends what happens with the Fed meeting, and we'll dive into what's expected there. So BlackRock and Fidelity, Bitcoin's now in the top 7 ETFs for assets out of 600 launched in 2023. IBIT on track to be #1 by next week. This is next week, so we'll see what happens by the end of the week here. Now, Google, big news with Google. One thing I want to say is, I'll bring it up as well, BlackRock is one of the largest holders of Google. So I wonder if they've gone hand in hand, they've had a little bit of a conversation, say, hey, we need you to now allow ads because it's been against their policy for quite a while. The crypto community is pondering the potential impact of spot Bitcoin ETFs given Google's handling of 100,000 searches per second. Monday, Jan 29. Just want to say, welcome to the future. It is Monday, Jan 29, but obviously it's for the States date, so another 12 or so hours. Monday, Jan 29, Google is set to update its policies to allow certain cryptocurrency products to be advertised on major search engines. Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, appear likely to meet the criteria, sparking speculation within the crypto industry. Bitcoin therapists, if you're not following the Bitcoin therapists, please do. Reports are circulating that Google will be changing their policy and allowing Bitcoin ETF ads starting on Jan 29th. Google processes 100K searches a second. Bitcoin is going to have unprecedented levels of institution and retail exposure. Prepare accordingly, stack and chill. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, not financial advice. What is advice is please study Bitcoin, the world's hardest form of money to ever be engineered to ever exist, the world's scarcest verifiable asset. With the recent approval of 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs by the US SEC on Jan 10, investors only Jan 10, 19 days ago. Isn't that insane how quick this has moved, hey? Investors purchasing shares in a spot Bitcoin ETF acquire a stake in the fund's Bitcoin holdings. This aligns with Google's updated requirements. The way that they've worded it is a little ambiguous, but we'll see if they will allow it, and it definitely looks like it. Obviously, we'll jump into how much of Google BlackRock owns, so I dare say they're going to get them to start pushing it. Financial products that allow investors to trade shares and trust holdings, large pools of digital currency. Crypto analysts are optimistic about the potential inflows to Bitcoin ETF citing Google's high transaction processing capacity in searches. So FOMC meeting, this is happening 2 days, 23 hours, 17 minutes, 13 seconds. Let me know in the comment section, as well as the live chat if you want. If you want me to stream the FOMC meeting live, again, we did it last time on the big TV in the back, so let us know, and shout out to everyone that is tuning in today. If you can humble the like button for us, it really helps get the Bitcoin signal out there. Greatly appreciated. Now let's get straight back into it. 2 days, 23 hours, 16 minutes, 47, 46, 45 seconds. It is 96.9% chance that it stays exactly where it is. Last year, I was calling for March we'd get our first rate cut. Maybe they push it out. It looks like they're going to push it out. Do notice there, 969, there is the first 69 of the day today. Tesla's numbers of the universe for a little bit of fun. So it looks like a pause. What will be most interesting will be what Fed Chair Jerome Powell has to say. So I'd be quite interested to stream it. Let us know and we'll see how we go there, and we can break it down in real time. From tomorrow, so from today, tomorrow, whenever you're tuning into, Google is starting to allow these ads. Google to start allowing Bitcoin ETFs in 4 days. And this is what they said, began Jan 29th, advertisers offering cryptocurrency coins targeting the United States may advertise those products and services when they meet the following requirements as certified by Google. So I've actually brought it up here. You just type in not YouTube. YouTube's the second biggest engine on Google itself. Bitcoin ETF ads, Google, and this comes up if you want to read it. As a reminder, we expect all advertisers to comply with local laws for any area that their ads target. This policy will apply globally to all accounts that advertise these products. For more details, see about restricted. Violations of this policy will not lead to immediate account suspension without prior warning. They are giving people a chance to do the right thing. A warning will be issued at least 7 days before any suspension of your account. Now, CNN Business, top 10 owners of Alphabet, which is Google. The second one here, Vanguard, surprisingly, is number one with 7.81%. BlackRock Fund Advisors 4.51% with 1 million shares bought and sold. Must be in the last 24 hours. Now, a little bit of fun. We played this as well, but it just works so well. When Jim Cramer goes bearish, it has signaled a great time to be going bullish. So we'll play it because Bitcoin's up about 2 grand since this fateful video. I just don't know how he consistently gets it wrong. And unpopular opinion, I think he's so smart, but his incentives are misaligned, and it's that fiat mindset, and he's being paid to do this. Maybe, maybe not. That's a little bit of tinfoil hat. Anyway, we'll take it over to you, Jim. Well, I cannot hear anything. Give me 2 secs. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start that again. Let's go.
We've seen Bitcoin double in anticipation of being wrapped up into an ETP. That's a cousin of ETFs that was supposed to bring in many, many new investors. Billions upon billions of dollars came in to run ahead of the suckers who would buy the ETP when it was launched. But you know what? Here's one that shocked me. A sucker isn't born every minute. The launch has been tepid, to say the least. In fact, there's been an actual outflow of crypto ETP money for the past few days. Overall, less than $1 billion of net new money has come in to these new spot Bitcoin ETPs since they started trading 2 weeks ago, when people thought there would be tens of billions of dollars coming in. You know, the entire market cap of Bitcoin was $487 billion on June 14th when BlackRock filed for their ETP, and then it rallied to $920 billion right before the spot ETP started trading, as Bitcoiners all over the world ran ahead of all the suckers who are supposed to come in and take them out of the trade. Well, now Bitcoin's up a huge amount, and the expected boom is a bust. That means Bitcoin speculators are up huge, and the legendary Larry Williams, who predicted the exact top, is now saying that people are getting still one more chance to sell Bitcoin. But then it's all over but the shouting. Man, you know what? You can buy a lot of cashmere sweaters, a whole closet of them with that pricey Bitcoin. But the bottom line, as Wall Street increasingly realizes that it's time to ring the register, ka-ching, ka-ching, I'm begging you to take something off the table if you haven't done so already. It's the disciplined thing to do. I am not saying sell everything. I am not saying get out now. I am saying do a little schnitzeling, and you will regret it.
What a guy, hey? What an absolute legend is Jim Cramer. Consistently, he's got it wrong. I wonder what his incentives are to be able to call it wrong every single time. Can anybody give me one single example of when Jim has gotten it right to be able to stack and chill? That's all he needs to do. It's a very simple message, Jim. But anyway, I won't be listening to him. You do you. It's your money. It's your choice. But long term, it's just something that you stack and chill. We'll jump into the block clock. Let's make sure that comes through clearly. So we are at block height 827,839 USD per BTC, 41,893. So pretty much exactly $2,000 since Jim called it, and it's gone up. So let us know if you're sold according to Jim Cramer. 5:48 local time. Jan 29, 2024. Obviously, we are here in the future, ladies and gentlemen. So the Google ads say about 12 hours with the time difference. The last block reward, 6.5842 subsidies. So the fees, it's actually been going lower over the last 3 streams. This is only making up 5.08. Obviously, a block happens every 10 minutes, so some are going to be bigger than others. But remember this number up the top, 9 minutes and 15 seconds is how quick the blocks have been processed. So it is looking to go up 8.1% with the difficulty adjustment. But remember that number, 9.15, and we'll talk about that in regards to the halving coming up. So let's get on with it if we can find my mouse. Here, Fear and Greed Index, it has reset. It is back to neutral territory at 54 as well. The last month it was sitting there in greed at 65. Needs to go down for Bitcoin to go back up. Can it drop a little bit more? Of course, the price can drop a little bit more from here as well. It's all good. Opportunities to be able to stack, to be able to chill. We'll bring up the big red button shortly. But China, this is huge news actually. And this is not a free market. And I think we're going to see this in Australia and the US as well this year. It's definitely a possibility. So I find it quite interesting to see what they're up to. They halt restricted share lending amid market turbulence. The Chinese the China Securities Regulatory Commission is suspending the lending of restricted shares in an effort to curb short selling. The Chinese securities regulation has announced another move to limit short selling activities amid stock market turbulence. The China Security Regulatory Commission reportedly announced on its WeChat, their equivalent of X, their Everything Cap account, that it will suspend the lending of restricted shares starting Jan 29. Restricted shares are subject to a certain sale and transfer restrictions. As part of the statement, the new rules are intended to highlight fairness and reasonableness. It's a long word to be able to throw in there anyway. Reduce the efficiency. Reasonableness doesn't even sound like a real word. They're not being reasonable. Anyway, reduce the efficiency of securities lending and restrict the advantages of institutions in the use of information and tools, giving all types of investors more time to digest market information and creating a fairer market order. Sounds like manipulation to me. Short selling is financial strategy where an investor borrows shares of a stock and sells them on the market, hoping the stock price will fall. The strategy is used by investors who believe the stock is overvalued or due for a decline. So over the past year, China's stock market has faced significant challenges. CSI 300 index benchmark declined by 11% 2023, while the MSCI index fell almost 10% this year after falling 23.6% in 22 and 22.8% in 21. Additionally, foreign investors have shown a significant decrease in confidence in the Chinese market. Non-Chinese investors sold over 170 billion yuan, 23.4 billion worth of onshore stocks between July and November last year. They go on to say, despite market challenges, China has heavily invested in pilot projects for its central bank digital currency. I bring this up because I have no idea why this is chucked in there, but among the created use case for the technology are integrations with several foreign banks, as well as using the digital yuan to settle commodities transactions on the Shanghai exchange. I've got a great video at the end of this live stream before we jump into the live chat and all the comments there that you are dropping in regards to CBDCs and how they cannot justify them one bit, but we'll get to that. So that's coming up. towards the end. Little bit of a timeline cleanse. How awesome is this? The creators of Bitcoin art in the snow, how long would that have taken? But how beautiful is that? Well done. Colorado, I think they found it. I'm not sure if they did it. Base snow sculpture and Breck. Super cool. That is absolutely terrific to see. Now, Brian Dement, Bitcoin is like winning the lottery in slow motion, but rather than lucky numbers, the barrier to victory is patience. Brian Dement, who's the author of Bitcoin Evangelism, I'd highly suggest reading the book. If you haven't, give it to friends and family. You can see there the $1 fake fiat bill as a bookmark. I actually use that was not good now, I've lost my place. I use the $1 fiat bookmarks for every Bitcoin book I read. I just have them piled up. Anyway, and when I give them away as well, I put a $1 bill in there so people can hold something and they realize the fiat distortion. What I was saying is Brian will be on tomorrow for the live stream as well. So if you've got any questions, very interesting guy into Bitcoin mining as well. He's got a second book coming out. If you haven't already read it, and we'll tune in for that one. But the barrier to victory is patience. All you need to do is stack and chill. It's worked out really well. Now, Charlie Shrem, if you're not familiar with Bitcoin history, a huge advocator at the start. 10 years ago today, at the age of 23, I was arrested by federal agents at JFK Airport. My life and the lives of people close to me changed forever. Spent 2 years in federal prison, and it made me into the person I am today. Although it was the most traumatic and terrible experience, if you know me, you know I can't stop telling prison stories with a smile. That's the way I am. Life is our gift. Today is a celebration of living our best lives. Thanks for reading. Love you. Bitcoin champion on money laundering charges. What a fascinating fella. Gentlemen, I have reposted. If you're not following Charlie Shrem already, well worth the follow there. Andreas Antonopoulos, one of the biggest advocates for Bitcoin. This is so good, and we're probably going to get this video copyright striked, which means it won't push it out. So before I play it, if you can do us that favor, once again, humble the like button. It will help counteract this. I don't mind playing copyright things. It's just the video won't go out to as many people unless it gets the engagement. This is absolutely hilarious, but it also talks about 51% attacks. It's 2 minutes. I definitely believe it's worth playing in a full. And while we're playing this, I'll try go through some of your comments there. So leave anything in the live chat. Yeah, sorry. Again, I'll just need to be mindful of that all the videos are paused. Takes them a little while to warm up, and then it gets absolutely hilarious.
Do you have any concerns about a large nation state that has interest in just actively destroying Bitcoin to make their own, super rigs and design chips and just throw hundreds of millions or billions of dollars to intentionally disrupt the blockchain?
Yeah, I don't worry about that at all. This cannot be done with Bitcoin anymore. This is something that can only be done with nascent altcoins. Bitcoin has achieved a level of computing that no single nation state can overthrow it through computation alone. The effort to do so would require a massive covert operation of chip fabrication, then the coordinated assault that would give them dominance over the next block for 10 minutes until we kick those bastards off the network, rework the protocol around them. They would be revealed. They would have lost $1 billion doing this, and all they got to do was one double spend.
He's just warming up.
Now, here's the thing. Long before we get to that point, they figure out that if they just let this stuff run, they can actually get some Bitcoin as a reward because the incentive structure actually works. And so I'm not worried about that. And a lot of people are watching the blockchain. And as I said before, what are they going to do? So they take over and they fork the blockchain and they go somewhere, right? They've created an alternative blockchain. Great. What are we going to do? Who's going to join the NSA blockchain? Anybody want to jump on FedCoin? So we're all going to stay on the old fork. Difficulty will go down. It will get more profitable for the miners who stayed behind, and we'll carry on with our coin, and they can go mine whatever the hell they want on their alternative blockchain. They achieved nothing. They can't make protocol changes because we, as I said, 5 constituencies in consensus, and it would take $1 billion to pull the most ridiculous Keystone Cops failure in history. Plus, this would actually require government that can do IT.
Oh, well done. That's absolutely hilarious. He's been in the Bitcoin space. If you haven't read his books already, I'd highly suggest you read those as well. Gargoyle, you're straight onto it. If you have your Bitcoin seed phrase on paper, please just wake up today. Go straight onto Amazon. Maybe there's not even a link for this. It's $11, or go to the hardware shop, get some stainless steel and some letter punches. Please get it off paper today. This is generational wealth. Don't stuff around with it. Don't let yourself, your family down. Please, that's the biggest takeaway. But what a guy, hey? Andreas Antonopoulos and Gargoyle, straight onto it, hey? Now, in regards to fake Toshi, we covered him last week. I've got an insidious video of the man going there. He's probably calling for his own prison sentence, but we'll get into it. If you're not up to scratch, there's this person called Wright. And he's been labelled as a fake Toshi within Bitcoiners for a long time. Peter McCormack went and railed against him. It looks like it cost him about $5 million in legal fees for sticking to his guns and what the community knows to be true. Wright looks like he's about to lose all the court cases. He's going to get no mercy. And what Peter is saying here is he wishes he was on the rope. A fighter on the ropes can be saved by the bell, defend or fight back. This MF has been knocked cold out. He is lying on the canvas. The referee has given the count and already at 9, and there is no chance he's getting back on his feet. So Bitcoin developers have faked Toshi on the ropes in legal fight. Crypto world is rife with scammers, including the Colorado pastor. We brought up that video last week as well. This gentleman wrote about it. But one of those scoundrels looms above the others for sheer perversity of his lies, namely his claim to be Bitcoin's founder, Satoshi Nakamoto, and for the misery he has inflicted on others with a decade of spurious lawsuits. So I've got a video, and I'd like you to tell me if you believe this person is Satoshi Nakamoto. The video that we played on F-Bomb Fridays probably was more indicative that he's not, but we'll play this one. Oh, man.
That simple. I don't need...
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to court on this. That simple. I don't need to face trolls in rooms. That's why we have evidence. So here's the thing. Evidence. We have courts. You know what happens when you lie in a court?
You go to jail, bro, and that's exactly where it looks like you're heading.
You know the maximum penalty in this country for perjury? It's about 20 years. Great. I'm going to be in court. Prove it in court. You get to send me to jail for 20 years. I get to put my evidence, and other people get to put theirs. That's how real things work. Sorry.
How interesting, hey? We get to send him to jail for 20 years. He's obviously looked into it. The proof that has been coming out in regards to the lies, the fabrication, the misinformation, disinformation, how he's altered all the documents. It's absolutely amazing. We'll keep you up to date as it goes through, but let us know what your thoughts are. Is Wright Satoshi Nakamoto? Troy does a pretty good job explaining in regards to BSV holders. If you are holding BSV, I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. You've bought the lies, the misinformation. You are setting yourself up to actually eat the bugs. You've obviously not done any research. I apologize. I feel so bad for you. And Troy explains this pretty well. What I'd say before we jump into Troy is actually read the books. Please do your own research. BSV is not Bitcoin. Anyway, Wright Cope is testing the limits of mental flexibility. Yes, the record is full of forgeries, but Craig was sabotaged. She presented the documents to the court, but someone else did the tinkering. If he had done it himself, they would never have been detected as forgeries. Or the court hasn't ruled on the latest set of forgeries. It's only check notes, Craig's own lawyers who acknowledge they're fake. But even if they are fake, they were that diabolical saboteur's work once again, or Copra has tipped its hand, revealing its true intentions, and now the case is surely won, etc., etc. For every time he denies something Satoshi said or proves his incompetence at something he's supposed to have mastered. It's painful to read this stuff and try to get yourself inside of those minds. The truth they cannot entertain, no matter how much evidence is amassed in its favour. They've all been duped by a serial liar and egomaniac who bears not the slightest resemblance to Satoshi, but who saw a grift here, and they are the marks for this grift. They've thrown their time, their money, their reputation in with a selfish, abusive clown. This is such a hard truth to accept about oneself, and this is hard for anyone holding BSV. I understand if you're holding Bitcoin, there's no problem here. You're aligned with truth, with freedom, sovereign money. Anyway, along with the realization that BSV isn't going to make them rich, that they will concoct the most outlandish stories to keep it at bay. Remarkable, the human mind is capable of that kind of self-deception and self-protection. It's easier to see in this crowd, but we all have the same self-protective instincts and vulnerabilities, the same biology. God save us from such a fate. So if you know anyone that is within BSV, maybe that's who you need to buy Bitcoin evangelism for. Please get them to read the books, watch the videos. Otherwise, they're going to be the people eating the bugs, and that's super sad. They are our fellow human beings. So Vanguard, they're doubling down on their stance with not allowing the spot Bitcoin ETFs because it's an immature asset class that has little history, no inherent economic value, no cash flow, and can create havoc within a portfolio. I did repost the whole, there's Jackson, there's somebody else, and there's a back and forth. In Vanguard's view, crypto is more of a speculation than investment. This is at the root of our decision not to offer crypto products, whether our own or others. With equities, you own a share of a company that produces goods or services and also pays dividends. With bonds, you get a stream of interest payments. Commodities are real assets that meet consumption needs, have inflation hedging properties, and can play a role in certain portfolios. While crypto has been classified as a commodity, it's an immature asset class that has little history, no inherent economic value, just the greatest store of value to ever exist. You can't print any more of it. No cash flow can create havoc within a portfolio. They've also found on a 1, 3, and 5, and this was Bitwise that has the third largest Bitcoin ETF that put this out there, and we'll jump into the flows with them. But over a 1, 3, and 5 year time frame, they looked at the percentage, I think, of 1, 2, and 5% portfolio allocation, and having that in there on every time scale has worked out favorable instead of having the traditional 60-40. So this is definitely misleading. They are doubling down on their stance against it. So they are, we'll see how that plays out. A lot of Bitcoiners definitely leaving Vanguard there. This is the full one. I won't read it all. I'll just repost it. There's, just before I do, there's the second 69 for the day, number of the universe. Now, we will carry on. This is pretty cool. This is Stephen Labka. He's from Swan, and I did an interview with him, and he talks to the high net worth individuals. Anyways, trolling BitB here, the Bitwise. Me tipping the ETF 420,069 sats, providing shareholder value. So Bitwise, they published their address. We showed that last week. And what Bitcoin is doing is somebody last week sent them 69 sats. By the way, that was the third 69 for the day, 369, Tesla's numbers. They published their address. Now Bitcoiners are sending Satoshis there. What Bitwise is doing is, we'll jump into it. This is what Eric Belahana said. The donation that was sent to BitB's now public address will be shared with investors a la securities lending revenue, acting like a tiny fee cut for all. Curious to see if this is a one-off or start of something. We see people toss tips into the proverbial ETF jar like if the fund had a good year or just for the hell of it. It's pretty cool, hey? So Bitwise definitely is the most Bitcoin ETF. I'd still urge everyone, seriously, to hold Bitcoin, get it off the exchange, put your seed on steel wherever it's gone. Really look after yourself there. The ETF, its price exposure, it's not holding the real asset. Today, $31 million of inflow into Bitcoin efficiently purchased on behalf of investors. Now over $500 million of Bitcoin and assets under management, and it's been out for 19 days. We set out to create a first-rate ETF tailored to Bitcoin's unique nature amongst the lowest fees for investors, but also public Bitcoin address for transparency. And the donation program. This is why I call them the most Bitcoin ETF. And when I interviewed Matt Hogan as well, you can go through that live video. There's him in a suit on the thumbnail. 10% of gross profits to open source development. Grateful for the investors and trusting us to be stewards in the space. Onward. I hit him straight up. I asked him all the hard questions. Does that 10% come with strings attached? Definitely worth watching. So I'd suggest at the end of this, if you haven't already, watch that there. Now, Bitcoin ETFs are wrapped in the thin layer indirect regulation. CFTC chair, is this where they ban self-custody? It's interesting, some of the words that have been put out, the programming. So CFTC Chair Rostin Benham declared that regulating the cash market for digital assets has never been more critical following the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs. We'll jump into the live chat very shortly. A lot of people watching live. I just want to say to JD, Bitcoin bounce or drop from here? Anyone? Up, down, and sideways? We'll jump into that very shortly. A couple of people are saying, who cares? You are understanding that we're just stack and chill. Now, the chair of the CFTC believes there is a risk the recent approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs will be misinterpreted as firm regulation in place for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in general, while the approval now allows investors to expose themselves to Bitcoin without directly holding the asset itself, supervised by an SEC-regulated stock exchange. He argued there is no regulatory oversight for the cash market of digital assets such as a cryptocurrency exchange. There remains nothing firmly in place to address the opaque and inconsistent practices in the cash markets for digital assets. What are your thoughts on that, ladies and gentlemen? Furthermore, Benham explains that this has repercussions for the transparency of Bitcoin ETFs since asset management firms acquire the underlying assets for the ETF from the cash market. He raised concerns regarding trade settlement, conflicts of interest, data reporting, conflict of interest. BlackRock holding the largest amount of Bitcoin mining shares could come under that. Cybersecurity, that's something you need to take very seriously. Customer protections, transparency, and general market integrity. The ETPs have taken a speculative and volatile asset, wrapped it in a thin layer of indirect regulation, and packaged it as this shiny new product, Benham stated. Be interesting to see where this thought goes. I just want to bring it up. In regards to the price, up, down, or sideways, today we have the nice big red button. Great to be able to stack. It's only a small 0.45% drop. If you get used to smashing the red buy button, when we have a $10,000, $20,000 drop, you're prepared for it, and you need to be prepared, because if you can't handle the downside, you're not going to get the upside, and we're going to have it both ways. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Don't know about a $30,000 day, but $10,000, $20,000 days definitely are in play. What do you think? Are they going to try ban self-custody Bitcoin there, have more transparency? Now, in regards to that 9 minutes and 15 seconds, if you remember right from the start, when I brought up the block clock here with the blocks happening, it's not loading. So 9 minutes and 13 seconds. You can see it up the top there. Remember that. And people last week were asking me, why do we see different times for the halving date? So time chain calendar is looking at 94.2, is looking at the 22nd of April, 2024. And what happens is the halving versus block time. So the block time, if it's 9 minutes, 9 minutes 20, 9 minutes 40, 10 minutes, 10 minutes 20, 10 minutes 40, 11, if it's 9 minutes, we could get it as soon as April 13. If it's 11 minutes, May the 1st. If it hits the 10 minutes per block, April 22nd there. Let us know if you heard that burp, even though I moved the microphone away. I am trying to be thoughtful of your ears. My apologies. Anyway, Criminals use banks, money launderers, drug, human traffickers, rogue nation terrorists, they all use banks. The shadowy super banks who enable these crimes must be stopped. I call on Congress to act now. It's just a fun post by Walker at Walker America there. JP Morgan Chase settles Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking suit by US Virgin Island for $75 million. JP Morgan Chase, in connection with Bernie Madoff's multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme, JP Morgan criminally charged with 2 violations. The Bank Secrecy Act. JP Morgan settles for $2.6 billion fine for Madoff fallout. OCC assesses a $350 million penalty against JP Morgan Security Act violation. So when this guy goes out and he says he rails against Bitcoin, I dare say he is buying himself. His daughter's buying. If Jamie Dimon's not buying directly, his daughter stack from 2 has definitely gone up a lot. That's my prediction there. So Cloud Shop, another good reason to be able to understand that we just need to stack Bitcoin, hold in self-custody, has decided that we have to get used to a total erosion of privacy. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be afraid. I don't remember electing this clown is what they said. Let's make sure the volume is good today. Now,
dans ce nouveau monde, on doit accepter une transparence, et je dirais même une transparence totale. Tout va être transparent. Et il faut s'habituer, il faut se comporter ainsi. Ça devient, comment dirais-je, intégré dans votre personnalité, mais si on n'a rien à cacher, il ne faut pas avoir peur.
Thanks very much, Wide Awake. So are you wide awake? You're stacking, you're holding. Are you now a self-sovereign individual? This is coming. It's insane. They are getting a little bit of pushback from those that are awake. So well done to everyone that is sharing this information, the lies, the misinformation, the propaganda, the programming that's going on. Because as we share this, people will understand what is going on. They become awake to it. Almost there. This is so inappropriate for the Monday to Thursday live stream, so I won't play it. But at Sean Clark 911, this is absolutely hilarious. It's the picture of Greg Foss. Play it with the volume on. It gets funnier and funnier and funnier. If you're looking for a good laugh, check that out. I did do an interview with Greg Foss. He's an intense guy, very smart man. Local news station in Georgia. This is the last one before we get into the comments section. Oh, we've got 2 more things, actually. Hold on, and we'll jump into the live chat. Local news station Georgia reports new Bitcoin mine could help serve lower energy bills and property taxes for the entire city of Sandersville. We got the sound right this time. Let's go.
The newest mine in Sandersville has nothing to do with mining at all, but the Bitcoin mine is definitely making an impact on the city's economy.
Last year, we took you inside the high-tech facility, and now it's expanding. And Anthony Montato got a tour today. He joins us in studio with a look inside.
You guys, the facility is truly massive. Take a look at this. That's just the power station. In fact, like I said, it even has its own power substation just to help manage the 250 megawatt power output. That's about 10 times what it takes to power the entire city.
There were some trees in a dirt field, right? It's come a long way and moving really quick.
Fast forward 2 months and a sprawling tract of land is turning into a sprawling Bitcoin mine.
We're halfway.
It's a little bit long, but basically you get the point. They are advertising how good Bitcoin is for the local community, how it sucks up that extra power, decreases people's energy bills, puts money back into the community as well. The narrative is shifting, ladies and gentlemen. We are winning 2 more things. We'll jump into the live chat. So, market cap, $825 billion, 315 million, 84,943 for Bitcoin. How cool, hey? TikTok, next block, we are about to go to $1 trillion, and it won't be very long. When Bitcoin moves, it goes slowly, then suddenly 42,083. Last 24 hours, we've had a low of 41,788. So $1,000 move, only $1,000. Get used to this. We're going to have 10x, 20x these moves on a daily basis. Last 7 days, Jim Cramer pretty much called the bottom in the last 7 days at least, and he is talking to traders. So it's pretty interesting, hey? As the 469 of the day, this all-time high, but 38,678 is the low, 42,718 in the last 24 hours. So, AJ, listen to Sean, Robert Breedlove, Michael Saylor, Jeff Booth, Lynn Old, and Luke Broyles. What Bitcoin did, Safety a moose. Hey, AJ, appreciate that. Man, thanks, Uncle Larry. I'm going to have to catch up with your comments. 173 people watching live. If you haven't already, and we vibe, it'd be my absolute honor if you hit subscribe, because you will get the news with the fast facts. So you just push that subscribe button. That's the news with the fast facts. Now we're into a little bit of banter, a little bit of fun with everyone. And anyway, we've got a surprise coming with the studio for the live chat, maybe in the next week or two. John Moran, I will, AJ. I'm going to have to scroll up and I'll scroll down. I'm not going to get to everybody's chat, but I do want to give everyone that is watching live or watching the replay a big shout out. So shout out to John, do something, do anything. Do something, do anything. I love that. Just wake up and get moving. Baseline Benny B, John Andrews, Mike W, Raven, F-Bomb Sunday. It's the F-Bomb Friday. Raven. Anyone calling for it? So Friday we let it a little bit loose. Definitely have my hair out for the Friday sessions. And I'll keep it PG, Monday to Thursday, 5:35 Australian Eastern Standard Time. When we get to F-Bomb Friday, yes, it gets a little bit profane. And sometimes it's just fun to be able to have a rip against people like the likes of Jamie Dimon, even Larry Fink. Like Larry Fink's turned into our marketing manager, but still, we'll save my opinions for Friday, yeah. Gargoyle, G'day Legends into the Forest, Raven, what webpage? So I did write it there, but it is bitfeed.live. That is this one here, bitfeed.live. It's a good way to be able to see the blocks being built. And the other one that I use, which I really like, is timechaincalendar.com. 6:19 a.m. I'm going to take that as the 5th, 69 for the day. Yes, selective seeing, but hey, Tesla called it. We get what we seek in life. What webpage? We looked at that. Hello, everyone. Jerry Solar and Wind Solution. Jerry, are you mining Bitcoin with the solar? If you are, tag me on X at Sean Clarke, SeanClarke 911. And I'd love to share what you're doing there, Jerry, if your solar and wind solutions are mining Bitcoiners. Crypto Gator, good to see you, mate. Glad you are here live. I think Texas, after we gain independence from USA, should invade Australia and give you guys your freedom back. Happy for it. Just in saying that, so like I live in this tiny little town, sort of right at the end of the Great Barrier Reef. We like look out at a couple of islands surrounded by reef. It's pretty spectacular. But because we're like so tight, so tiny, with everything that happened with the pandemic and even when Disease X comes here later on this year, it didn't really affect us. It was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. Like we were still going out, driving on the beach. You know, like if we go to the beach and it's like 18 kilometers or something, if there's someone within like 500 meters or a kilometer of us, we think it's busy. It's absolutely amazing. So I'll be going to the beach after this. But it didn't really affect us. So I never felt like my freedom was taken away. But what happened in places like Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, the big cities and stuff, absolutely crazy, disgusting, despicable human behavior from the government. And it's basically martial law. And we saw that everywhere around the world. So do something, do anything. If you could help us out, greatly appreciated. Orange pill dispenser, but we do have some amazing Australians here fighting for freedom. I actually haven't heard anything from Senator Alex Antic for a while. Stacked. Hell of a lot of Satoshis. Well done, Retro Beaver. Orange pill dispenser, g'day family. Bitcoin Shark since 2016. Well done. Maybe not the best thing to be able to let people know how big your stack is, but being here so early, well done to you. Definitely read the books, eat the bugs. And I think this is a good takeaway. Raven's been here since 2016, still keeping up to date with what's going on in the Bitcoin market. It's absolutely fascinating. My hair's gone all fluffy this morning. Anyway, it is what it is. Bitcoin is going to rip when you least expect it to. Absolutely it is. So make the most of it. I understand that the big red button in the background can make you feel a little bit bearish. It doesn't stay here for very long. Even if it comes down a little bit, who cares? More cheap sats. Make the most of it, because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be priced out forever. I know you can still buy Satoshis, but maybe you buy half as much, quarter as much. I don't know. It just makes sense to be able to get as much as possible while it is here on sale. JD Club, show stream, okay. What the webpage, we've got that one. Cramer should stay out of Bitcoin. Yeah, he does make for some great entertainment, but you definitely need to be awake and aware with inversing him. Basically, he puts on a good act, doesn't he? Geez, this guy. Good morning from Hume in Cairns. GJI, Cairns is way up north from where I am, and I could not imagine how humid it is. Walk outside and you start sweating down here. Cairns is probably, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 degrees Celsius hotter. I bet it's super hot up there and humid. It's crazy at the moment. Good evening from North Warwickshire, UK. You lot. G'day, Darius. Gargoyle. I like the new cam angle. Well, let me show you that. The studio up here. I just thought I'd show you this. In regards to the couch and stuff, we'll set it up so I can have the live stream. I just need to be able to get the chat up onto the TV and make it all work. But I thought, why not? It's coming. There'll be another angle later. Still under construction at the moment. On the weekend, this is way off track, but I walked in and the roof was like sagging a little bit in the studio, and it's taken so much time and money to get the studio absolutely perfect. This used to be a woodwork shop, and I've changed it to accommodate my filming needs as well as work needs with the computer setup. And I walked in, ceiling sagging, I'm like, oh no, and it's that plasterboard crap. And so I looked at it, and then I had to put all these braces and stuff up, and there's 300 holes, screw holes in the roof now, and it's not above me, but it's on the other half of the studio there. I need to do 2 more, but to move the whole desk set up here, I've got this set up and there's another desk as well. Takes a bit, so it's disheartening a little bit, but these things happen in life and you just do what needs to get done and carry on. So I appreciate the new cam angle, and that's a bit of a random conversation. AJ, Jim, like most people, don't understand Bitcoin too much amid curving. My favorite is Lehman Bros. Cool. Decentralized Dad, let us know. Can you tag me with that video, if possible, at Sean Clark 911? Would be absolutely insane. I remember a while back when he did make it, if I recall correctly. Yeah, if anyone can tag me with the Lehman Bros. Call by Jim Cramer, greatly appreciate it. Jim keeps saying it'll go down. He was right on that, because it always goes up and down. That's as close to being right he will ever get. Yeah, up, down, sideways. So JD, yeah, credit where credit's due. Kramer is told what he is allowed to say, 100%. Buy Bitcoin, STFU, chill. Joan gets it. Coinbase is the Bitcoin, not BlackRock. They do. They're custody. Coinbase, get it off the exchange, ladies and gentlemen. Don't leave it on any exchange, but they do. They are holding it as the custodians for, I think, 8 or 9 of the ETF providers. There's only one that's holding in self-custody. So pretty interesting. But yeah, you're 100% right there. Keep stacking for life. Smash the like button. Simon, good to see you, brother. Joe and Keith, good to see you. Retro Beaver, Gargoyle, CBD, just digital fiat, which they basically have already. They do. It's just the next level of control that they can do with CBDCs that I'm so concerned with. And straight away, if they implement them, it won't be the worst thing. Unpopular opinion. And I guess not the Bitcoin narrative, but they will be faster, more instant. The user experience at the start will be pretty good. It's when they have problems with inflation or you buy something that they deem is incorrect, they can just shut off your bank account a whole lot easier. They can give you negative interest rates while me positive interest rates. It's dystopian, and we're seeing that happen in China as well. Do something bad, it's deducted straight away from your account. Jaywalk, it's deducted. If your social score goes down too much, you can't buy plane tickets, train tickets, food, send your kids to school. So it's insane what CBDCs can do, and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. It'd be better just to be stacking sats, in my opinions. Cramer hasn't a clue what Bitcoin actually is. You know right away who reads the books and who hasn't. Come on, smash those likes. Watch Sean's going to hold up. Gargoyle, you called it. Fiat equals poo. AJ, brilliant. Joe and Gargoyle, the JD Club. I'll race through these. AJ, what a chat. Dave, I always appreciate your comments, brother. I know I don't always reply in depth for everyone. I will reply to all your comments. Sometimes it takes me a little while, and I may not give you a full reply to your comments because you send through so many, but I appreciate everyone. And Dave, you have been getting a lot of enjoyment out of yours lately. AJ, just stack and chill. Maybe I'm in a move. Thanks. If it pulls back, it's 37K. Otherwise, it'll rip to 48K. Can't see it taking too long to get back up to 48. The greatest move you can make is stack and chill. It's the marshmallow test times 1 billion. Well said. That sounds so cool. Thanks for update. He's a fraud. I bet he can't even code. Craig Wright is Craig Wright. Oh, that's the probably the best way to stick it to him. My portfolio is small and doesn't have Bitcoin because I can't afford it yet. I'm trying to use what little I have to make more before everything takes off. JD, you can buy $1, $5 worth, $10 worth. And the thing about Bitcoin and the nature of Bitcoin is once you buy, say it's $1, $5, whatever it is, and you accumulate it, it's so dense energetically. Somehow you just continue to find ways and it just builds up almost by magic. Yes, it takes a whole lot of proof of work. JD, what is in your portfolio? Is it altcoins? I'd really like to know that. If you can let us know if you're holding altcoins and you want to get rich and flip them real quick and then go into Bitcoin. Most of the time, for most people, maybe you get lucky, and I hope you do. Most of the time, that's losing strategy. If you want to play in the altcoin market, ladies and gentlemen, be my guest. You're all adults, big boy pants, big girl pants. Make the most of it, have fun, whatever, but realize it's all narrative, it's all BS. I've got better things to say on Friday in regards to it. But don't fade Bitcoin. Stack and chill. Your future self is going to thank you for stacking Bitcoin, not for stacking Ethereum, not for stacking Solana or anything else. That's the nicest that I can say it today. Stop trying to pick the bottom. Just stack and chill. Dollar cost average. AJ called it. Bitcoin evangelist incoming. He might be schizoaffective. Peggy, good to see you this morning. If Craig Wright is Satoshi, the WEF has our best interest in mind. Altruism. Yeah, we can end it here. Me too, guys. I'm just starting. I have $1,000 Bitcoin. Will I make much money from this if I hold? Anyone? John, not financial advice, but over what time frame? Absolutely. Just hold it, forget about it, put it in self-custody, cold storage. You're good, bro. Eagle, Idaho, USA, aka Dagwan, checking in. All investment is speculation. One other thing I want to say, John Moran, is well done to get into $1,000. Can you continue to stack and chill? Now, I'll switch from Merrill Lynch to Fidelity. All investment is speculation. What is the... Dave, it's just Bitcoin here. I'm not really interested in NVIDIA in that regard. I don't know. You tell me, Dave. Google. John, hodl is dark. And don't tell anyone how much sats you sat for better. Okay, so keep buying Bitcoin and hold. That's the message of this channel. Just stack and chill. 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 And then push the big red button when you see it. Make the most of it and then just stack and chill. I often wonder if someone went to an investor pre-Bitcoin and said, I've invented a blockchain technology, how much would they believe in it or even invest in it? Very little. Bitcoin's been about for 15 years. A lot of us heard it before we bought into it probably 5-10 years ago and didn't make the most of it. So I think that would just be extrapolated out. John, you need to do at least 100 hours of research into Bitcoin before you understand Bitcoin at the basic level. So do your own research and gain your own convictions. Good place to start. Third time bringing it up, Bitcoin Evangelism. It truly is a great book to be able to understand. If you've got any questions for the author, tomorrow Brian will be on. Stack, hodl, and chill, a bit like shake, rattle, and roll. John, in the long run, that's good strategy. Keep cool, DCA, and hodl. Everyone's so good, just providing advice for everyone. That's the joy of Bitcoin. Everyone wants everyone to do very well, looking out for their fellow human beings. So John, well done on getting here. Get off zero, please. I often wonder if someone went to an investor, didn't hear it. Very polite Monday to Thursday. Can lip read, so yes. Jamie, Demon's daughter, stacks and chills. I'm sure Trump is buying Bitcoin after speaking to Vivek. Would not surprise me. Obviously, Trump's a bit of an altcoiner himself with his nonsense NFTs and stuff, but having Vivek in his ear railing against CBDCs maybe is starting to stack Bitcoin. We'll see what plays out. This guy gives me the creeps. I'm not sure who that is. Joe, it must be in regards to Cramer, or was it Klaus Schwab? I'm sure he accentuates the accent in regards to Klaus Schwab. Yes, he is very scary. I got orange pilled in 2020. I've been stacking ever since. Well done. AJ, learn about self-custody UTXOs. Follow Bitcoin University for lots of small lessons on Bitcoin. 100% follow Bitcoin University. If you need help with cold storage, BTC sessions, and shout out to Simply Bitcoin. I was on there at like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning last week on Friday as well. So there's a fun video there as well. It's, if you haven't watched it, it's the video with the thumbnail with, is it Kim Jong-un? There on it, you'll see the Chinese dictator. Listen to Sean, we went through that. Just watched an interesting video on power laws and how it applies to Bitcoin. First 15 years of data indicates a top of between 150 to 200K the cycle. Do you have any thoughts on this? It's going to be a lot higher than what it is now. I don't give out my price predictions where I see it, and I'd say that's, who cares? That's the way I think about it. I'm very careful. I guess a lot of people are calling for numbers like $1 million this cycle. I don't think it's going to go that high, but I believe it's going to be a lot higher than where it is now, and it's going to surprise us nicely. Let us know if you would like my thoughts, but you wouldn't hold them to it. It's a double-edged sword about it, up, down, and sideways, and then it's going to move from slowly to suddenly. That's what I feel comfortable with saying. Well, Joan, first live attendance, Bitcoin strong. I appreciate that, Joan, so much. You didn't need to do that. I appreciate that. If you are ever thinking about super chats and stuff, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd prefer is to send it to a charity, help out somebody that is living rough on the streets would be my ask. But Joan, thank you so much. I will pay it forward and pass it on. All the money that I get from super chats and stuff goes to a friend's animal sanctuary over in the States. So it is going to a charity. I appreciate it very much. Good to see you killing it, bro. AC Trades, can't wait for tomorrow's interview. Yeah, so with Brian, it'll just be a bit of a banter. I've already interviewed him on the channel. You can see him there. He's the Chief Marketing Officer of OPA, Orange Pill app, which is like a Bitcoin social network layer. Super cool. And you can... Sorry, Keith is just so distracted me. Get off zero, you kangaroos. Bloody ripper, mate. On your cob. Do you hold alt? No. Do I hold altcoins? What? No. Subscribe and hit the like, push the bell for all notifications. And in regards to altcoins, I used to, and it worked out well. And there's a video with Robin Sayer where he interviewed me and I talked about my whole journey. It's a mind virus. It's not worth it. Happy for you to do you. It was a waste of my life force energy. I'm thinking buy half of Bitcoin, eventually take profit and use for down payment for first house. John's channel. I cannot advise, but I'd seriously be reading as much and getting as much information into you as possible, because that may be an absolutely terrific plan, but you need to do your own research. It's definitely not financial advice. AJ, altcoins are a mind virus. Sorry, it's dirty fiat. Convert ASAP not to lose value. Altcoins are the attack. And over a long enough time period, people won't even need to sell their Bitcoin. You'll just be able to lend out against it and actually still hold it with custody, like in a time-locked vault. That's something that I want to talk to BTC sessions about when I get the opportunity, which will be coming up later this year. Plandemic, that was so apt. Well, it was. Sean, do you run a node? And by the way, your headphones are good. Me using the same. I'm not running a node, and there's a couple of reasons for it, but I will be running a node very shortly. It's just in regards to cybersecurity, and we have another suspicious connection blocked. And multiple blocked. So there's a couple of reasons why not, but I will very shortly. And it's very bad of me not to be doing it, but I'm being honest. And the headphones, they are lovely. It was the best that I could get in this small little town. Probably prefer Bose a little bit more, but I don't know, it is what it is. Do you see Crocs much? Not here. When I grew up in Cairns, like the gentleman, my apologies, bro, I'm having a mind slip with who's up in Cairns. There's so many people in the chat, but no, here we do have crocodiles, and I don't swim in the river mouths and stuff too much, but they're definitely here. But up in Cairns, like, they're absolutely everywhere. Diesel, hey, you didn't beat me today, brother. Diesel's been trolling me hard on X, so next time, mate, hopefully you can get to it before me. What a guy. Shout out to my girl, Dixie Normus. Tryptamine nurse, shout out to your girl, Dixie Normus. Is it her birthday? Just want to give her a bit of a shout out. There we go. Everyone say hi to Dixie Normus for us. The truth shall prevail and set you free. G'day, Bitcoin and beer from England. Nice setup, bro. Holding Bitcoin in the roof. Hiding Bitcoin in the roof. That's the reason why it fell down for sure. Laguna Beach, California. Tom, appreciate it. Keith, we're fortunate when we have red days. Stack those sats. JD Club. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been going hard with the comments. JD, shout out. I ordered the same cap, the dad cap. Thanks for spotting us that link. If you need for Bitcoin merch, FOMO21, I organised a discount code for you. It is G'day GDAY. There is a link below in the description if you want to rep the Bitcoin merch, and you get 10% off or more. I don't know, something like that. I organised it when I went to the States. I just wanted a discount link so I could buy my own stuff from there and pass it on to you as well. Yes, I get a kickback, but I asked them for it before they open their program or anything, so it's not a shill. It's a plug with Bitcoin companies, and I will advertise Bitcoin companies that benefit people. If we can get the signal out there, there's nothing better than that. People actually need Bitcoin. Fiat is destroying people's lives, so it is really important to be able to orange pill as many people as possible. Stack and Chill, I had a client buy $0.7 ETH long ago, and he was telling me I should buy crypto. Greatest wealth you gain with Bitcoin is the knowledge. Eric Kaysen, don't forget to destroy and humiliate the like button. Diesel, always a degen before your device blows up in 30 seconds, 29, 28. Bought at the high in DCA all the way down, almost at a whole coin down, almost back to green. Power of DCA. Dan, I personally don't subscribe to this theory of diminishing returns. I think over the long term, neither do I, Dan. Simple supply and demand is far more potent than the majority realize. AC Trades is Austin Clark. Oh, Austin, shout out to you, bro. So Austin's a very, very smart, intelligent trader who's put in the work, and in regards to trading, it's a game you can play, but there is a price to pay for it. And Austin Clark has been doing that really well, showing all his proof of works and stuff. Definitely stuffs around with the S coins. We'll save the profanity for Friday. But as a career, has taken trading very seriously. But there's a price of tuition, and Austin has done really well. So shout out to you, bro. Very inspiring when I see what you've done for yourself and your community. Just an enormous Dixie, mate. Now, I think tryptamine is Dixie. I'm not sure. Dixie enormous. Wow. Dixie enormous. I think a little bit slow here this morning at 6:40. Wow. We're carrying on. It's a little bit longer than what I like to do. Dixie enormous. Thanks. My boy, it should have been Dixie enormous. Bitcoin growth will always outperform the fiat interest rate, so just lend against your Bitcoin and hodl forever. Stack and chill. Shout out to Webby. Thinking of losing your Bitcoin for RE, real estate. Reject on his X covers a lot about this. Not worth it. Tryptamine nurse, you made my morning. Thanks everyone very much. And definitely give a shout out to Dixie enormous. You're all degens. There's I don't know, there has to be something wrong or right with us for us all to be here, to be so ahead of the curve. You've done a fantastic job, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, tomorrow, Brian Dement, the author of Bitcoin Evangelism. Shout out to Dixie enormous. Humble the like button. Hit subscribe if we vibe. Do something nice. Pay it forward for a stranger, for a friend, whatever you can do. Have a beautiful day. Find a beautiful place and get lost. Be blessed. Peace. And that's not...